Elizabeth Warren was shocked, outraged that Facebook would not be fact-checking political ads. The left, in a collective screech, said, Mark Zuckerberg, what are you doing? You're going to take the money and run. You're going to let Donald Trump lie. Well, being the bigger man, Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, announced, we're just going to get rid of political ads altogether. And then we saw the collective cheering from the left and people like Elizabeth Warren saying Twitter is going to do the right thing, showing you who's boss, Facebook, because they got a moral compass. Well, that's what they felt in the first place, and then they realized what it really meant. Elizabeth Warren slams Twitter for a policy that bans ads from groups fighting climate change. Uh-oh. Perhaps they... How many times does it have to happen and they don't realize when you police speech, they police your speech? They actually thought. They think to themselves, we're right. The facts are on our side. Therefore, if we ban, hate speech and lies, only we will get to speak because the other, they're the villains, right? Sorry. Banning political speech, in ads, I should say, banning political ads, it means everybody. It means you. So this is really funny because I think I talked about this before. The rules as they were proposed would make it so that you can't run an ad about climate change, about healthcare, Planned Parenthood, for instance. We don't know what the solidified rules are going to look like. I can say one thing, though. Elizabeth Warren is not only a hypocrite, being angry now that her side would be censored, which is also extremely ignorant. First of all, did you not see this coming? Man, it's mind-blowing to me that I can say this over and over again. First they come for, then they come for. You know that poem, right? First they're going to ban conservatives for their naughty words, and then they're going to start getting rid of you because you challenge the establishment. Jack Dorsey's new rules on banning political ads is a disaster. It protects the establishment. It protects the incumbent. If you are already in office, you have an opportunity to hold press conferences, and you can leverage the power of office to get your name out. What if you're challenging the incumbent and no one knows who you are? You need these platforms to reach people. Banning political ads protects the establishment. Do you know who else is in the establishment? Fossil fuel companies. Hey, was that so hard to understand? Guess what? If you want people to campaign for a political cause, like changing the laws that would impact fossil fuel companies and regulation, those are political ads. You know what's not a political ad? An ad for gas. If ExxonMobil wants to buy an advertisement and say, go to your local Exxon station for premium gasoline to drive your car, not political. Not at all. So these companies can run ads that aren't political, that are consumer standard marketing, and your political activism that you wanted banned is out. Now, I will add, Elizabeth Warren, it's fake news, okay? This is not actually what's going to be happening. It's complicated, but I will say Jack Dorsey's plan makes no sense. It's not just his plan. I think Jack's an all right dude. I'm not trying to be mean to him, but because I did that thing with Rogan, and let me just put a disclaimer. When I met Jack Dorsey, he was a very nice guy. I think he's genuinely interested in doing the right thing. I don't think he's evil, but I think there's just so much they don't get. You cannot ban political ads. It is impossible. And Warren should have realized this will be substantially worse for you. Worse for you. Because think about it. Planned Parenthood ad? Can you do an ad for that? That's political. Government funding? All of that's political. So it will obviously affect conservatives as well. But here's the thing. Who controls Twitter like a puppet master dangling his little strings down? Donald Trump. Donald Trump could tweet anything he wants about anything and it's going to go viral. The news is going to carry it. They're obsessed. But now you can't. Now your activists can't. And you cheered for this. Okay, we get it. Here's the story. Here's what she tweeted. Twitter's new ad policy will allow fossil fuel companies to buy ads defending themselves and spreading misleading info, but won't allow organizations fighting the climate crisis to buy ads holding these companies accountable. We need accountability. It turns out, if you're a giant corporation with millions to spend misleading people on your record of accelerating the climate crisis, that's exactly what you can and probably will do. Oh no! Oh no! You cheered for this, and now, oops, it backfired. I'm tired of being right about this. They call me a conservative because I said, hey, you realize this is gonna backfire really bad. Because if Exxon wants to take out an ad saying we're ExxonMobil and we are going to be spending money, investing in green technology or whatever. Yep. Yeah, they can do that. And then if you want to make an ad saying climate change is a serious problem and we must elect or vote Green New Deal, politics, you can't do that. No, but I will say though, Jack Dorsey has come out and said that's not exactly what's happening. The rules aren't, officially in place yet. Calm down. And we're taking this feedback into play. But what's the alternative? You going to flip the script, Jack? Are you going to make it so that fossil fuel companies can't buy ads, but climate change activists can? You cannot police advertisements like this. It doesn't work. So let's do this. Elizabeth Warren was responding to this tweet. Emily Atkin from New Republic says, under Twitter's new ad rules, environmental groups can't pay to spread pro-climate change policy messages. But Exxon can pay to spread tweets claiming a widespread political conspiracy against it and touting its pro-climate credentials. The problem here is, I think they're looking at existing ads. Okay, the political ad ban on Twitter has not started yet, and the rules have not been finalized. I could be wrong, but it seems what they've done is they've found existing ads and said, but I thought advertisements were banned. Not yet. So the ads are running now. They won't run later. Calm down. But of course, now they're starting to freak out, realizing, oh no, they announced they're going to ban our political message? Aw, too bad. Did you not see this coming? Apparently not. Here's what one person tweeted. In response to Elizabeth Warren, this guy, Adam Mosseri, I don't know who he is, he said, this is one of the key issues many miss about banning political ads on any platform. You can't ban these ads without significantly inhibiting the ability of activists, labor groups, and organizers to make their cases too. Jack responded, that's not exactly right, Adam. We gave ourselves until the 15th to make sure we are addressing concerns like this thoughtfully more before then. I can respect that, but what's the alternative? Jack, are you proposing that you will allow activists, labor groups, and organizers to post ads, but not those, not companies? Like, how will this work, right? It's impossible. It's impossible. Stop trying to police speech, okay? Because I'll tell you what's going to happen. You get one climate change activist, and Jack says, okay, fine. We're going to allow climate change activists to buy ads, okay? What about climate change activists who are on the inverse of that? Are you going to allow them to counter back? Oh, congratulations. You've created a PAC system for Twitter advertisements. Now the politicians themselves can't buy the ads if they talk about the politician, but then anybody can just, I'll tell you what. What if you made an ad that said support the Green New Deal? Is that political? I'd say yes. It's not telling you to vote for anybody. Okay, you can't talk about the Green New Deal. Can I say we need to come together as a community to support a plan where we can all agree on pooling our resources for green investment technology? Like, where's the line? Where's the line? I know you might say, I can't define it, but I know what it is when I see it. You're not going to be able to pull it off, because I'll tell you what. If Jack comes out and says, Warren, you're incorrect, that's not really how it works, we're going to make sure activists have their say, well, then you're not banning political ads at all, because the left and the right have their political activists. So what are you really doing? I'll tell you what they're doing. They made a preemptive PR announcement to set themselves apart from Facebook because Mark Zuckerberg, shockingly, and I don't want to defend the guy, but, credit where it's due, said they wouldn't police political ads. In response to that, the left was furious. And this all stems, so let me walk you back and talk about the bigger problem here. It's that political advertisements are arguably true or false depending on your perspective. It's really opinion-based. You can't really fact-check a lot of these things to an extreme degree. It's hard to know for sure, especially when you have media companies with bias. So this all comes down to this ad that Donald Trump took out, I think it was Trump, about Joe Biden being corrupt. We have more and more evidence coming out that suggests that may actually be the case. I don't want to get into all the details, but suffice to say, one of the principal arguments from the left about Joe Biden not being corrupt is that the reason he wanted the prosecutor removed, the quid pro quo, where Joe Biden said, if you want $1 billion, fire this guy, was because the prosecutor was not investigating corruption. But as it turns out, after this prosecutor was fired, no charges were ever brought against the owner of Burisma. So what's the argument then? Joe Biden didn't do anything. Was the guy innocent? Did he get a prosecutor fired because the guy turned out to be innocent? It makes no sense. Anyway, I digress. It's a complicated story. I'd have to walk through a ton of evidence and stuff, which I'm researching. But I'll put it this way. The ad was bought, and the left said Trump's lying. Biden is not corrupt. That's a conspiracy theory. And Facebook was put in this difficult position where they're like, I understand you like Biden, and you think this is a lie, but we're not going to go and fact check this. Trump's allowed to have his opinion and make his case. So then somebody else, some other Democratic group bought ads on Facebook where they claimed Republicans were supporting the Green New Deal, and Facebook took it down. Hypocrisy, they said. See, you're banning us. No. One's objectively and obviously and absurdly false. We know Republicans aren't supporting Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal, but whether or not Joe Biden is corrupt is actually debated in public. So Mark Zuckerberg's between a rock and a hard place. And his response, you buy a political ad, we're not getting anywhere near it. I think what Twitter wanted to do was, let's capitalize on this and set ourselves apart by saying, you know what, we're going to ban all political ads. And they really didn't think about it. Well, now, once again, you know what's really funny about this? I understand that, Trump did say something about it and Trump supporters were angry. It was just great. All of this is great news for Trump. Okay, first of all, for those on the right who are the predominant supporters of free speech, open inquiry, etc., and it's a fact, I hate to say it, but it's true, allsides.com, which tracks bias and sort of maps out left versus right, shows that free speech is a conservative issue. Wow, incredible. But you have the conservatives saying, yes, free speech. And the left consistently saying no to it. Ban political ads. Woohoo, we're happy. Oh, now we're getting banned. Why does it always happen like this? It's like, I think Glenn Greenwald said this. If there is any group of people who have shown a complete inability to learn more than any other group, it's liberals advocating for censorship. Because they don't seem to realize you're first on the chopping block, man. All you little rapscallion revolutionaries who upset the establishment. Let me tell you something. They hate Bernie Sanders. They hate Bernie Sanders, and we all know it. Okay, even now, with Bernie being as popular as he is, the media downplays him. They ignore him. I get it. I feel for you. I was a big fan of Bernie for a while, and I think the media coverage of him today is still abysmal. Now, I'm critical of him for a lot of reasons, but we know the establishment hates him. So guess what? When you celebrate this censorship, you know who the first person getting deranked and getting their ads banned will be? It's going to be Bernie Sanders. Okay, so what's going to happen is Elizabeth Warren, basically described by many of my friends as Hillary Clinton wearing a Bernie Sanders mask, okay, she's going to have technicalities. Her ads will get posted and Twitter's going to be like, well, the thing about Warren's ad, and then Bernie, his campaign's going to be like, okay, we'll do something similar. Oh no, Bernie, that one was political. You see, the thing about your ad, this is why you can't have these rules. This is why the Constitution is very specific. Well, I wish it was a bit more specific, but they say free speech, free press. And this is why, even to this degree, I am not an absolutist. I think incitement and things like that, I think there is a threshold where we say that's not expression. But when it comes to you saying, I want to express myself even if I'm wrong, what are we going to do? Are we going to employ the Ministry of Truth to determine who is or isn't allowed to make a political ad? That makes literally no sense. You can't do it. You can't do it. Because people lie and there's different perspectives. Someone might say it's objectively wrong to have the death penalty. And someone else will say it's objectively wrong to not have the death penalty. Who's right? No, it really comes down to world perspectives. And there are people who will tell you some things are true when they're not true. What do you do about it? Honestly, I don't know. I read the news every day. I try to figure out where reality actually is. And in reality, it's actually complicated. So I do think it's funny when you have some of some intellectual dark web types have said, we have to agree there is an objective reality. Well, I'll tell you this. There is an objective reality, but it fades away at a certain point. So an easy way to explain this is, if I told you I have a rock, I am going to throw the rock with all of my might at that standard window. What would happen? 99% of people would probably agree, well, the window will probably break. There's a chance the window doesn't break. Maybe you miss. Maybe the rock bounces off the glass because the glass was stronger. Maybe the rock's too small, whatever. But the point is, you throw a rock at a window, it's going to break, right? That's like a thing we get. That's objective reality. But when you get into politics, objective reality becomes extremely complicated and hard to figure out. You have people saying that minimum wage will increase the standard of living and solve all the problems, while others say, no, it'll cost us jobs, it'll accelerate automation. Who's right? Well, the left is telling us that they're objectively correct, and the right is telling us they're objectively correct. And I'm sitting in the middle being like, I see both of your points, but we really can't predict that many variables. That's what it really comes down to. Yes, the left, you're correct. Certain elements of the minimum wage will work, particularly imports. The cost of a computer made overseas will not change, and now more people who work at McDonald's will have better access to better technology that we import to this country, but local costs will go up and jobs might be lost. That may result in those low-income workers now having $0. It's really, really difficult to figure out which one will be the one that actually happens. So we're all trying to make predictions. Hey, I think A plus B equals C, and someone else says X plus Y equals Z, and then you buy an ad advocating both. Now we have the two scenarios. Facebook saying, we're going to stay out of this one. You're trying to make grand predictions. You're giving your opinion. And Twitter saying, we're going to get rid of all of it. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Big media companies are going to push, for the most part, a left-wing message. But Donald Trump is the one who commands Twitter. So you're getting rid of your ability to challenge the incumbents and the establishment. And yeah, the establishment loves it. Thank you, woke leftists, for supporting the establishment to the detriment of people like Bernie Sanders. Elizabeth Warren, she's not paying attention. I have no idea what she was thinking. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'll say this. If there is any group of people, okay, I believe this is a Glenn Greenwald quote. I could be getting it wrong, but hey, if it's a great quote, so if I'm attributing it incorrectly, Glenn gets free credit. If there's any group of people that has shown an inability to learn more than any other group, it's the left advocating for censorship. Because it just keeps happening. They ban you. Sorry, you can't talk about climate change anymore. Surprise, surprise. Who would have thought? When you said to massive multinational billion-dollar corporations, I want you to police speech, they would police yours. Well, this is the world we have to look forward to because these people can't learn. Stick around. Next segment is coming up at 1 p.m. at youtube.com/TimCastNews, which is this channel, and I will see you all then.